It is a very good afternoon and welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park for our second game of the afternoon. Of course, a triple header down here at Bankstown. We have the Medleys and the Woomeras as our second game, and we are underway in the middle of the ground, and Pole got a hand to that footy. It spills off hands. Jensen was in and under as well. Grace Roden lurking around the place, and she was able to extract that hand pass. Still in the middle of the ground, and now the kick is hacked forward, and it's the Woomeras who are able to work their way inside the forward 50 early on. The kick in towards the pocket has been stolen away nicely by Simmons, who can keep on running. Support out wide, and the kick goes long, further up the wing. And so it is the Medleys now who attack through the heart of the ground. Mark taken here by Thomas. Lowers the eyes now. Inside 50. That ball has been dislodged out of the pack. Getting a hand to it was Dorr, and spills out the back to Rizzo, who's burnt off a couple of opponents. And pops the kick up high and long inside 50, and Rui has taken the mark and will kick from a 45-degree angle here. And perhaps the first goal of the game for the Medleys against the Woomeras. So Abigail Rui to come in. Will have to strike from around about 35 metres. The kick is going long and just falls short, knocked over the line and through for a minor score. So, of course, the Medleys and the Woomeras have travelled down to New South Wales and Sydney for the weekend to take part in an intensive 3-day football camp and leadership camp. And there'll be a secondary or a third game coming up after this with more talent on display. The free kick in the left forward pocket is going the way of Taylor Kazma. An acute angle here. She's going to run around and pop the kick up. She tried to set it up there for her teammate. The kick comes wide and over and out it goes. But of course, plenty of young talent on display. More than 80 of the country's most promising Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and multicultural footballers under the age of 15 have been selected to play this afternoon. So we are very much looking at the future, perhaps future stars of the AFLW, which of course starts in a few weeks' time now. There's Kazma, the kick going right up towards the line. Rui was down there for the Medleys. Scrambling with the kick there was Martha, and she's kicked the first goal of the game for the Medleys. And Martha on the board. A good finish there. And it is the Medleys who strike first. So Martha from down in Tasmania, playing her club footy at the Burnie Dockers on the north-east coast of Tasmania, a lovely part of the world in Tasmania. So getting the campaign underway for the Medleys. A good finish, and they're bursting out of the centre again. Pole with the kick up towards the half-forward line. A couple of players coming through the other way. But it's the Medleys who were able to win back that football. Gray was wrapped up for the Woomeras, and the umpire's going to toss this up once again. Into the middle of the ground now. Stratford weaving around. The kick was just ill-directed though, and the Medleys are able to go forward once again. They've controlled a lot of the initial ball movement so far in this game. It's been dislodged out to Bridge, but taken in the tackle. The umpire will call for it. So, of course, many of the players selected in these squads this afternoon for, of course, this game and the next game will feature in the 2026 Indigenous and Multicultural Academies, as well as some of the other various talent pathway programs that the AFL has on offer. And of course, significant development in pathway programs in the last couple of decades. We've seen both on the men's side and women's side. Ball into the middle now, pitched on its point. And the Medleys can go forward through Oswell. Her kick is long, up towards Rui, who was able to get that hand pass away. Going right towards the goal front now, and the Woomeras defence under a bit of pressure here. They clear the kick, and in the end, it lands in safe hands. And they can work this footy towards the outer side. It's been a pretty open game so far. Not many stoppages. The Tuvi over the top by foot. The hand pass comes out. Grace Roden trying to track that footy down, and did so successfully. Again into the middle, but strong hands over the top in the end. And it's going to be the Medleys who will attack through the corridor. Now out to the half-forward line. A 3-on-1. Martha, the goal kicker for the Medleys, had 3 to beat. Was outnumbered in the end, and the Woomeras use this near side of the ground. Grace Roder with the hand pass into the middle. Pressure from Haimova. Again, that footy dislodged. Purin Tatameri able to knock that one forward. Kick goes up towards the wing. Contest of players off hands. Bobbles about. Lee was able to find some room for a hand pass over the top, and she gets that back and wins her own football. West was in the way. Coming through was Stradforth, and the tackle here from Pole to lock things up successfully. So the Woomeras squad comprises of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander girls, while the Medleys squad contains players with at least one parent born outside of Australia. And here go the Woomeras. Bennell inside 50, ball evaded. Ellie Rose McKenzie, socket off the ground now. And the goal has been kicked. The Woomeras on the board. A good finish in the end. And the goal coming off the boot there of Fawcett. So, good contest so far. A goal apiece now. 1-1-7 the Medleys. The Woomeras 1 straight 6. It's been a hot footy and a very open game of footy played so far. So back to the middle to do it all again. Of course, we had the Allies in Western Australia playing before this game. Western Australia with their second wing. Here's Kingy going long inside 50. Martha the target down there. Ball just wasn't quite direct to her. It spills out the back again. Bridge just knocked it forward, off towards a teammate, and Gurgis, her kick though, skewed off the side of her boot. It was way too wide and out of bounds on the full, so the Woomeras to try and exit the fence. So the kick popped up here. Oh, the mark has been spilt. Now the Medleys can pounce. Pole, her kick was smothered. Comes off hands. Banged out of the danger zone for the Woomeras, and they can exit towards this near side of the ground. Pressure applied here from Thomas was good. On hands and knees, trying to scramble for that football. Spills out. Tapped forward along the boundary line. Fawcett was down there. She did pretty well. She kept a cool head amongst all that pressure. Tackle's going to be rewarded here, though, in the end. Going the way of Rizzo. Looking corridor. Intended target was Amy Smith. Through hands, Robertson sporting the headgear. Really good smother there from Robertson. She went to go back in after it at ground level. Couldn't quite pick it up. Whistle on play here. And it's going to come back. So, of course, these quarters, 20-minute flat quarters, if you are wondering and just joining us, 20-minute flat quarters this afternoon for both games as the kick comes wide from Jansen. Centre half forward now, turned over. The Woomeras can attack now. Kick goes inside 50. Standing strong, Alicia Van Duren, though, was in the hole. Eyes only for the footy. Delivers out wide to Haymona. She goes along with the kick, does Haymona. Woomeras with numbers around that footy, though. Blasted up towards the Bennell direction. She had it, then lost it. And now in the arms of Gray from New South Wales. Killarney Vale Bombers, her community club. Here's Paige Johns, who takes the mark and wants to move things on straight away, and the mark has been taken here, so effective play. And the Woomeras with an opportunity here to go forward and perhaps put a secondary goal on the board. The kick looks pretty good. Sails over the goal umpire's hat. The two fingers go up. And the Woomeras now strike with 2 goals in this first quarter. That goal going the way of Purantata Mary. So off her boot. Aligned with the St Mary's Football Club in the Northern Territory. Great opportunity for her to be part of this Woomeras squad for the weekend. So back to the middle. Grace Roden down there. The umpire's seen something, so it's going to have to come back. Back to the middle, where the free kick was issued. Start for the Woomeras with 2 goals on the board. To the centre half forward line. Really good mark there from Dora, it might have been, front position, and stood her ground. She went to Mar. Now over the top to centre half forward. Just the kick had a bit too much on it. Woomeras with numbers at the fall of that contest. And they work this footy out towards the near side of the ground. West was flung 360. And now the kick. Goes inside the forward 50. Trying to keep it in was Bennell. She did so. Still going was Bennell. Gets the hand pass up towards the top of the goal square. And can they find a goal? The kick around the body is going right to the line. And Van Duren was down there to whack that through for a minor score. Bennell certainly showing a clean pair of heels, though, in that pocket area. Was able to escape the danger from WA. Involved with the Thornley Lions Junior Football Club in Western Australia. Robertson put her teammate in Raby under a fair bit of pressure. Robinson goes in again. Tackle applied there from Paige Johns. Effectively, says the umpire. And so she'll get the free kick. Oh, and 50 as well. So the ball not given directly back to Paige Johns, and the umpire was quick to call that. And so Paige Johns will be brought to within about 10 to 15 metres here, maybe even closer. It's right on the goal line, and she will kick from point blank range. And as casual as you like, she pops that goal through. Does Paige Johns, and the Woomeras have 3 early goals on the board. So they go on to 3-1-19. Medleys are 1-1-7, 14 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter. Of course, 20 flat minute quarters for these games. It was Medleys who controlled the early ball movement. And the Woomeras able to win back a bit of ascendancy and momentum in this game. West out of the centre. Finds a teammate. And the kick goes forward. And now Long inside 50 here for the Woomeras. Again, perhaps another opportunity. Big tackle though. And maybe a goal-saving tackle from Misha Simmons was magnificent. It's the free kick in the back pocket for the Medleys. Driving them out of the defence to Kingy. Couldn't take that mark, but did well to evade a couple of would-be tacklers. Over the top. Kick comes from, might have been Fawcett. Now the Woomeras. Again, they're going forward. Kazma was down there, got a hand to it. Kick comes high up there from Matuva rather, towards the half-back line. Again, another smother, and the coaches will be enjoying the desperation out there. The 1%ers have been superb in this game so far. Smith went to ground. Force it down there. And the umpire will call for this footy. Because Fawcett, one of the goal kickers for the Woomeras from High Woking Junior Football Club. Another WA girl part of this Woomeras outfit. In the middle again. Big tackle from Pole will be rewarded to repel the attack from centre wing. Up the line. Kingy was down there. She went to ground. Awesome contact. She was made to earn it then. And again, the umpire's going to come in and restart play here. At high half forward, Grace Roden. Hand pass comes out wide to Fawcett. He works it forward, but intercepted by Matuva. He's had a fair bit of this footy in this first quarter. It's been an entertaining one. Kingy, another player who's had a heap of the footy, goes inside 50. Rizzo's down there, takes a bounce, keeps going, shoots towards goal, and doesn't quite nail it. Just across the face. So 1 goal, 2-8 the Medleys as we close in on quarter time. Woomeras 3-1-19. It's almost goal of the match so far. Just a little inaccurate, sliding across the face. Nice clear conditions for football in Sydney though today. The sun is shining. Couldn't get a better day really. Low footy towards the wing. Oh, Wallace was run down. Look out. And tackle affected there from Paige Johns. One of the goal kickers for the Woomeras. Dishes it off out wide to Bennell. And now they work it forward. Bouncing football. Dorr. To Kazma out wide. Intercepted by Bennell. Was able to get it on the boot up towards the half-forward line. That footy still in dispute at the moment. Matuva comes across. And now the Woomeras are able to work it forward. Twisting, turning, may have been Gray. She went to ground though. And the umpire's going to restart play here. So it's going to be tossed up. Or tossed in rather. From the left forward pocket. And there's the throw in. Tracking that ball was Paige Johns. Over the top. Thomas flicked it out the side. The Medleys clear the danger zone. And it lands in safe hands. Going and attacking straight up the middle. Can they get a quick one before the quarter time break. Clock continuing to count down. It was picked up by Rizzo. Almost went to ground. Still going is Rizzo. Hand pass out towards Robinson. The siren might beat them though, as that one has been locked up. And the siren sounds to end the first quarter of footy, which has the Woomeras 3-1-19 to the Medleys, who are 1-8. An engaging contest, though, so far at Blacktown International Sports Park. We'll take a break for quarter time, and we'll be back with the second quarter right after this. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park for this second quarter between the Medleys and the Woomeras. This is our second game down here at Blacktown. Of course, there is a third game to come after this one with the next squad members of the Medleys and Woomeras to take part in another game as the Medleys go forward, but the kick lands in the waiting arms there of Grace Roden, who took that mark defensively. So they'll look to exit out wide now, the Woomeras. Able to kick 3 goals in that first quarter. It was the Medleys who actually kicked the first through Martha. And the response from the Woomeras was swift. Coming through the other way was Simmons, who again looks towards the outer side. Ava Ma was twisting and turning and looking inboard for Thomas. The ball was stolen away, though. Inside 50 now for the Medleys. They're able to extract that footy out of the cluster of players that were drawn towards that footy at ground level. It spills out towards the boundary line now. And the tackle applied. And the umpire is going to restart play here in the left forward pocket. So an engaging contest so far with these two sides. Of course, plenty of talent running around there this afternoon. Future stars of the AFLW on display, that's for sure, as this one's been hacked out towards the boundary line. Closing there was Robinson, was beaten for pace though. The kick is long and further up the wing. Simmons left the footy behind, had to go in after it again. She was wrapped up though, just got the hand pass away. Going to ground there was Dorr. Was able to get it forward though. Casmer applying a tackle for the Medleys. Again, that footy comes loose. Simmons attacked it hard. Involved in that passage of play on multiple occasions. Holding free kick, says the umpire. He was right there to see it. Go the way of the Medleys. High and long inside the forward 50. Martha, their only goal kicker, was able to get that footy out by hand. Oh, brilliant smother. They're the 1%ers you love to see. In the end, it's the Medleys to try and work it forward again. Again, Martha was stripped of the football. It's built the way of Jansen, who looks up inside the forward 50. Ma gives it off by hand to Robinson. A bouncing football down towards the goal front, and, well, Bridge, the ball just evaded her and dribbled out towards the boundary line before she could run forward and catch it and try and keep it inside the field of play. Of course, from the Northwest Lightning, her community club in New South Wales. For Claire Bridge. A number of players from New South Wales running around there today. Football certainly growing in those particular country areas, and it was Rui touched on the line just. She was closing in on that goal. Her eyes lit up, but desperate knock through on the goal line for a behind. So 1-3-9 the Medleys now. It's a 10-point margin to start off this second quarter. Sun continuing to shine over the top of Blacktown International Sports Park this afternoon. Continuing to look forward to seeing the talent out on display playing in these games this afternoon. The blind turn comes from Matira, who puts the kick up towards Paige Johns, who's kicked a goal today. Moves it further along the wing. Hey, Mona was able to trap that footy. She gets it back now. Matuva was calling for it. That option ignored. She had grander plans up the line towards the wing. Kingy was down there vacant. Robinson Her tackle pressure has been really good, although that one just slipping high. So against her on that occasion. And the Woomeras with the free kick. As that kick goes long, further up the line. The numbers converge on that footy. Casma goes in after it, applying a really good tackle, and that ball became dislodged. Casma goes in after it again. Tackling pressure not rewarded then. Kingy kept it in front of it. Oh, look out. The closing defender with a big tackle there for the Woomeras. And it was Bennell. Well tackled. 60 out from goal. She sets up this kick. Into goal for the Woomeras. The Medleys with numbers out wide. Rui, one of those. Looking for distance on the kick. She got a fair bit in the end. And now they play the footy on this broadcast side. The run and bounce was good. Back to Rui again. Her kick was smothered. And over and out it goes. Superbly done in the end. The umpire's going to come forward and toss this footy in front of the grandstand. That sun's starting to dip down, so there's some of this near side of the ground covered in shade. Socket forward. Grace Roden trying to chase that footy down. Going in after it was Pole. Well, she did pretty well trying to bust the tackle of Lani Gray, who wasn't letting her go. That was strong from Lani Gray. And the umpire will come in and restart play. Of course, another one from New South Wales is Gray from the Kalani Val Bombers, as I referenced in that first quarter. And the free kick going the way of the Medleys here. So Dina Gurgis with ball in hand. She looks back into the middle for Robinson, who just spilt that mark. Gives it off by hand, off to Pole. Long inside 50. Woomeras with numbers though, as the kick is cleared towards the outer side. It may very well come back inboard though, by the boot of Robinson. Into attack once more. Lands in the Fawcett direction. Got it to Lampton. Lampton on the boot straight away. Now the Woomeras. Off half back. Fawcett goes to ground. Picked up by Grace Roden. And then just got it on the boot straight away to a 2-on-1. The Medleys went out. Going to ground was Dorr. That ball's still bobbling about. Hey, Mona was able to pick it up, but Caitlin West was waiting there. She was keen to waste no time as well. Bella Matera was running past and received the hand pass as she goes long towards the outer side. The umpire's seen something here, so a free kick will go the way of the Woomeras, who kicked 3 goals in that first quarter of play. We haven't had a goal yet in this second quarter. It's dried up, the scoring. 8.5 minutes gone, midway through this second quarter. 20-minute flat quarters for these games. Tossed up once again. Out the back there was Jansen. She was waiting for it. Into the middle again. It was Rizzo who was stripped of the football. Grace Roden gets it on the boot just in the nick of time. She had a couple of players closing in late. Spillage at ground level. Jazz Lee comes across and gets the free kick as well. So she was attacking the football very hard and rewarded for her efforts as she looks out wide. Plenty of run and carry, and now the shot on goal is wide. And it rolls through for a behind. So the Woomeras, with their first score of the quarter, are behind 3-2-20, playing 1-3-9. The Medleys, their goal came from Mariella Martha in that first quarter. The first goal of the game, in fact. Misha Simmons takes the mark overhead. Directs the pass to the wing, and a good one as well. Although that secondary kick, not great. Lani Gray was in the hole. Her kick has now been chopped off. Boyson back up the line where it came. Coming through, Gurgis. Spills out the back though, and Lani Gray just couldn't quite take position. And a high free kick going the way here of the Woomeras, Matera, I believe it is, off the half-back line. Running around, taking a full measure. There's the turnover though. Kingy, after taking the mark, goes long inside the forward 50 over the head of Ma. Socket out towards the boundary line, and Ma can't quite keep that one in. Over and out once more. As we mentioned, Ma, one of the Tasmanian girls out here. Only, I think it may have been 3 Tasmanian players. Socket forward there by Pole. Shot at goal is across the face though, and a minor one. So the Medleys doing a fair bit of the attacking in the last 5 minutes or so. It'll be Jazz Lee to bring this footy from full back. She went with a long kick further up the line. That one's just spilled out of play. So it'll have to come back, and the Woomeras were gripping on for dear life here at the moment because the Medleys have had a number of opportunities going forward. And here's another one as well. The kick has been pulled short towards the top of the goal square, and the mark has been taken. And down there is Rui. And she will kick from virtually point-blank range. Well, they had many opportunities going into goal. And Abigail Rui converts this opportunity into a major. And she has kicked her first goal, the second goal for the Medleys. And now they only trail by 4 points. So Ayala Ma and Abigail Rui, the goal kickers for the Medleys. And our first goal of the quarter. So 3-2-20 playing 2-4-16, 4-point margin. The way of the Woomeras. And Abigail Rui, of course, a Victorian girl, playing with Yarraville Seton Eagles in Melbourne's inner west. They still play at the old Yarraville ground. The old VFA side used to play. Tossed up in the centre once more. And now that ball in dispute. Umpire says play on. It was just knocked out of Fawcett's hands. Again, bobbling about. Casma out the back. Was looking for a sweeping hand pass. It was intercepted though in the end. Purantata Mary was able to extract that footy. And now it's the Medleys. Can Rui kick a second? She was brought to ground. Still got that footy away to Ma. Snap on goal from the left forward pocket is rolling across the face. And through for a behind. Not a bad effort though. Ma's had plenty of the footy in this game so far. Oh, the kick not great. Boyson was down there to intercept here for the Medleys, and now they've got this footy locked inside their forward arc. Going to ground was Matera and Rizzo for the Medleys, and the umpire's going to rush forward here and take this footy. So tossed up once again. Umpire wasting no time inside the forward line here for the Medleys, who have done well to lock this footy inside their forward half. Again, that ball not going anywhere off the hands of Bella Matera. Stoppage as a result. Crumbed by Gurgis. Her kick was smothered, so now it's the Woomeras who can exit defence, and they do so up towards this near side wing, the broadcast wing. Coming through there was Lee. Now it's banged back to the half-back line, but intercepted in the end. High footy, straight up and down the chimney, up towards the wing. Hole with pretty good ball security, and then was able to dish off the hand pass to Kingy, who goes inside 50, and Rui takes a juggling mark. Second bite of the cherry, but a wonderful smother. Rui tried to win it back, and now coming through was Rizzo to apply a tackle. Rabi now marks just inside the centre square and then looks up and finds a vacant player for the Medleys inside the forward 50. So this could be a door. He'll kick from basically directly in front. It's a very long kick, but just off the side of the boot and way too wide in the end. Out of bounds on the full. So Dor, one of the many Victorian girls playing out there this afternoon from Officer. A long kick out of the back line for the Medleys. On the flank here, a hand pass from Thomas. And now it spills fortuitously for Gurgis, who looks centrally. Mark taken there by Casma, fires towards goal and nails it. The vision to find Casma was superb. And she finishes off the good work of her teammates with 6 points. And the Medleys now take the lead. So they're 3-5-23. The Woomeras are 3-2-20. The Woomeras yet to kick a goal in this second quarter. The Medleys with all the play though, as we tick down towards the main break, the halftime break, 2.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. So the Medleys have shown good fight to get their way back into this game and take the lead as well. Back into the middle. Kingy trying to chase down her opponent, but was beaten for speed. Inside 50 now for the Woomeras. They would love a goal before the halftime break. Trying to pick it up there was Sky Morgan. She was able to get it out and find a hand pass there in Grace Roden, who drives it up towards the goal front. Big tackle applied there from Alicia Van Duren. The umpire was very quick to blow his whistle then and rush in and restart play as the Rucks come down to set themselves up for this contest. Fisted forward for the Woomeras. Now Phoenix Dodd. That ball just dislodged. Again, out towards the boundary line. Paige Johns, well, she's already kicked a goal in this game, and she's just missing there. Well, she's taken the woodwork. Touch unlucky. And the margin now 2 points as we enter the final minute of the second quarter. Second of 3 games here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Out of defence go the Medleys, and Simmons takes the mark. Keeps the momentum going. Build-up was pretty good, although intercepted here by the Woomeras. But it's won back by Pole, who stood up strong in the contest. And now into the middle of the ground. Rizzo was quick and goes inside 50. Boyson down there. The hand pass comes out from Smith, though. And now they work it forward to the Medleys. The vacant player was Bridge, and she can't quite finish with a goal. Through for a minor score. Well, that was their golden opportunity to put a 4th on the board right before half-time. 3-6-24 to 3-3-21. 3-point margin the way of the Medleys. It was good movement of the footy as the Woomeras look to attack the outer side. Ellie Rose McKenzie, but they'll be beaten for time here as the siren sounds to end the first half of footy. And it is the Medleys now who have worked their way towards the front and lead it by 3 points, 24-21 at halftime. An entertaining game of football so far. We'll take a break here on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app for halftime and be back with the second half after this. Siren sounds for the second half, and we are underway down here at Blacktown International Sports Park, and immediately the umpire's calling for the footy, and we will get a stoppage once more. It was punched out of there, and now Gurgis goes forward with a kick here for the Medleys, and the mark has been held by Rui, who's now looking towards the pocket. Caitlin West was down there for the Woomeras and went through her hands. Rui in and under once again, was just knocked off the football though. And now it spills out wide. Again, West was able to get it on the boot, a foot race towards that outer side. Cunningham tried to chase it down for the Woomeras. Rui working now with her teammate. And from the boundary line, this would be a great goal. Oh, it's hit the post. Wow. So a minor score. It would have been a sensational way to open up this second half though. Unfortunately, are behind. And so now it's the Woomeras. We're going to play the ball along this near side of the ground in the shade as the footy finds Miller, who was working there with McClelland. And now the Woomeras up towards their half-forward line, although there was no one home and intercepted in the end. Ma was down there. Takes a bounce, runs merrily across the half-back flank and looks into the middle. Nice direct pass to Simmons. Off a step, Simmons up towards the Rizzo direction, bounced off her chest. Intercepted by Cunningham. Through the middle. Socket off the ground by Hamona. Ping pong footy at the moment. And that football intercepted by Ava Ma. Been pretty strong today. Perhaps a name to keep an eye on. Good mark from Kira Fawcett. Just forward of halfway. And the mark taken as well by Fordington. Just inside 50 here for the Woomeras. Fordington's kick towards the top of the goal square. Floating across there was Bella Matera. Ma couldn't quite take possession of the footy, although it spilled out wide. And they've been Casma, who got boot to ball and was looking straight up the middle of the ground. Devine, though, was coming one way and was able to get that footy. Stolen away by Homona. Looks out wide. Casma the target. In the way, though, was Cunningham. Showing speed, although her kick just a bit too long and ill-directed. So now the Medleys on the outer side. The hand pass from Boswell was illegal, and it was thrown out, says the umpire. And Caitlin West will come back to her. She'll take the free kick from the Yarraville Seton Eagles in Victoria. Caitlin West drives this one long into the middle. The Woomeras just build up methodically through the centre, although the kick just a bit too long in the end, and it was Rizzo. Looks out wide. Rizzo wants it back. That option ignored. Medley's crossed the ground. The vacant player was Pole. Bounced out of her grasp, though. Gurgis was clean by foot. Gets it up towards the door direction, who goes long into goal. There's a couple of players for the Medleys down there. In the end, it was Miram who was under enormous pressure, and as a result, a free kick going the way here of the Medleys. The lasso rule coming into effect, and it's going to be Claire Bridge who just sets it up towards the top of the goal square. And a superb mark taken from Simmons. Misha Simmons leaping right over the top of all players to stick that mark. And she finishes with a goal. A quality finish from Misha Simmons. And one for the highlight reel, that's for sure. And Simmons on the board with a goal. Her first of the afternoon, and the Medleys now out to a 10-point lead to open up this third quarter. 5 minutes gone. 4-7-31, playing 3-3-21. The Woomeras. Simmons playing her community football at Frankston on Melbourne's peninsula in Victoria. Standing at 168 centimetres, Misha Simmons. Certainly one of the best pieces of play we've seen so far today. Gurgis out of the centre, sprinting away and delivers nicely out wide. And the Medleys will build up once again as they attack inside 50, over the head there, and Nelson at the back for the Woomeras. Just soccers it off the ground, although into the waiting arms of Dorr, who was able to hack it forward right on the goal front. Woomeras under a fair bit of pressure. It comes out wide. Robinson with the headgear goes to ground and wraps up Maggie Wallace. The umpire is happy to toss this one up though. Inside 50 here for the Medleys. Dorr comes over the top and got a hand to it. She picks up her own footy at ground level. Getting in the way though was Nelson for the Woomeras. And a bouncing ball towards the boundary line. He's going to beat them all. And the umpire will toss this footy back into play at the 6.5 minute mark of the third quarter. Medleys and the Woomeras. Don't forget, a second game or a third game to come up after this, featuring the second half of the Woomeras and Medley squads. Marked by Casma, just outside 50. Casma pulls the kick nicely, and well, she played on, was run down. Tackle goes unrewarded. Robinson was unaware of the players swarming around her. Kingy goes to ground. Robinson back in again. Kick up towards the wing now. Jansen wrapped up. Robinson with a heap of the football so far in this game from the Sherwood Magpies in Queensland, but on that occasion wasn't aware of the players hunting her down from behind as West exits defence here for the Woomeras, and it was picked up by Paige Johns. She gets it on the boot. Big opportunity here for the Woomeras to try and work this inside their forward half, although the defence of the Medleys stands up strongly. Rob is the runner, and it hits up nicely for her at full pace. She measures the kick towards the Kingy direction. Robertson goes back in after it. Kingy tracks that footy at ground level. Was wrapped up strongly though. Out towards the boundary line now. And pass finds Nelson. Little sidestep was nice. And then a very long kick up towards the wing. Slapped out of there by Haymona. Out towards the boundary line. Haymona goes to ground and she's beaten for room out of play. So a boundary throw in front of the grandstand here at Bankstown. Friends and family with players coming down this afternoon to watch this particular game. And of course the next game as well, with more than 80 of the country's most promising Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and multicultural footballers playing here this afternoon. Ma to Haymona on the boot straight away. It works out nicely. Thomas is off to the races and goes long inside the forward 50. And the mark has been taken by Claire Bridge. And now she's setting this up towards the top of the goal square. And guess who? Misha Simmons takes another spectacular mark. 25 metres out, slight angle. Simmons comes in and puts it through, and she loved it straight away. And she has 2 goals, and 2 quality goals and pieces of play this afternoon. No doubt a name that recruiters will be putting a circle around, and certainly a player to follow. Misha Simmons, as I mentioned before, from Frankston on Victoria's Peninsula, standing at 168 centimetres. Lots of quality about her, Misha Simmons. So back to the middle we go. The midway mark of the third quarter. 10.5 minutes gone. 20-minute flat quarters here for these games. Back in the middle and elevating in the ruck there was Robson. Down towards the half-forward line. One way was Miller. Now Miller's got it. Curls this footy inside 50 here for the Woomeras, who are in desperate need of a goal. And it might come through Kira Fawcett, who finishes superbly. She captured the crumb into goal. Magnificent stuff. And so Fawcett on the board with a goal. Of course, a WA girl from the High Wycombe Junior Football Club in Western Australia. Number of players coming from the West in today's sides. We'll restart play. Back to 10 points. Importantly on the scoreboard as well. 37 playing 27 out of the middle. The Medleys to their half-forward line. Hand pass comes out over the top. Oh, gee. Heavy contest against Nelson. And the free kick will go the way of Boyson, who put her body on the line. Gurgis received from Boyson. Here's the kick short. The Robinson marks right on the paint of 50. Stabs the pass inside 50. Simmons is putting on a bit of a show. Sticky hands. Oh, she can certainly take a mark. And Misha Simmons, a chance here to kick her third goal of the afternoon. She'll have to strike from about 30 to 35 metres out. And she's just pushed that one across the face through the left for a behind. So that margin creeping out to 11 points now. 38 playing 27. 13 minutes gone in this third quarter of footy. The target, Matera. Able to get it at ground level and gather. Put her teammate under a bit of pressure though. Sort of quite the task. And it might have been at Lambton. And immediately the umpire sporting the hat today. Sunny conditions in Sydney to throw this one up. Lee get a secondary stoppage here. Pole almost fell over. Dina Gurgis, the back of this stoppage, roved it wonderfully, spinning around, looks into the middle, sits up nicely for Robinson, who dashed away. And great poise to look up inside 50 and find the target here in Rui, who has already kicked a goal today. Maybe a touch too far out to score. So she goes into the pocket. Look out, Misha Simmons. She's unstoppable at the moment. Takes yet another mark. Wasting no time, into goal. Oh, she's hit the post. Maybe just rushed it a touch. She could have taken the full allotted time to compose herself. And the margin now, 2 straight kicks in the middle. Gurgis heard the voice behind her, and Rabbie goes inside 50. Here she is again. Simmons. Well, she'll have another crack here. This one a bit further out. Again, wasting no time. But it's going all the way. And she has 3 goals this afternoon. And, well, it's turning into the Misha Simmons show this third quarter. She's been superb. 6-9-45 to 4-3-27. And the margin now 18 points in this game. And the Medleys are creeping away from the Woomeras as we enter the last few minutes. 4.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter of footy. Back to the middle. The Woomeras need a goal, and they're bursting out of the centre. Kick inside 50, just through the hands there of Fortington. Now it spills loose. Snap round the body is going to land at the top of the goal square. Dorr was down there and was just able to work that kick towards the centre half back line for the Medleys. Pushed off the football was Smith. Umpire crosses himself for a stoppage. Knocking that one forward, McClelland up in the ruck. Little dinky pass forward. Closing there was Puratata Mary. Spills the way though of McClelland. Goes inside 50 for the Woomeras. Picked up cleanly by Gemma Lee. And then it spills the way here of Fawcett. She's kicked a second goal of the quarter, if you don't mind. And she is keeping the Woomeras in this game. Fawcett, magnificent. The West Australian with 2 goals in this third quarter. So it's been Kira Fawcett down one end and Misha Simmons down the other for the Medleys. 2 players to keep an eye on and continue to follow. So an entertaining third quarter. 17.5 minutes gone. Not much time left. We see a late goal. McClellan out of the ruck. Launches one inside 50. Clearing kick from the Medleys. It'll fall short though. Puratata Mary. And now Fawcett again. Oh! She's hit the post off the bounce. It pitched on its point and slammed into the woodwork. She almost could have had 3. And a couple in quick succession. The Medleys won't want to give up another goal in this third quarter, particularly after the work they did. Here's West, or rather Casma. Delivers nicely to Smith, who takes a bounce. There's plenty of time to look up towards the half-forward line. Dashing away here was Kingy. Enters, attacking 50. Over the top. Open goal beckons for Bridge. And now arriving was her teammate. The hand pass comes out over the top. Boyson's down there, paddles it forward. Up to Kingy. Her shot on goal is narrow. Through for a minor score. Well, they almost ended up with another. Bridge couldn't quite finish off. Final minute. Presenting was Nelson. Through her hands. Kingy with the pressure. Nelson stood her ground though. Still going is Nelson. Just got the kick away as she was being tackled and been turned over though. Jansen. There'll be one final thrust, you would think, for the Medleys. Although the Woomeras win back the football. Straight into the middle. Ma. Eyes only for the footy and tracked it well. Delivers to the half-forward line. Rui runs onto it. Hand passes up towards her teammate. And now Rabi rolling football towards the goal front and just socked out of the goal square, but it will be a Medleys free kick. No, won't be. Thought the lasso rule may perhaps come into effect there, but The final seconds will count down for the third quarter as the ball has been thrown back in. Hang on, is there time? Gurgis gets it on the boot. Oh, there is. What a remarkable goal from Gurgis, straight out of the ruck. It's been an exciting quarter for the Medleys. And Gurgis with one for the highlight reel. And she will look back on that goal with plenty of excitement. It is the Medleys in control of this one. 7:10:52, they lead the Woomeras 5-4-34 to end the third quarter. Three-quarter time here at Blacktown International Sports Park sees the Medleys out in front. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this break. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park, where it is the Medleys in front by 18 points at three-quarter time. And we begin the fourth quarter now. And it is the Medleys who are trying to work this forward. Casma got a hand to it. Footy not quite locked up. The umpire was almost about to blow his whistle. McClellan was involved again. Ball comes out and Dorr. That's a really well-judged mark. Going back with the flight. Eyes in the sun. Really great effort. And she got it to Kingy. Spreads this one long. For the Medleys. Oh, Rui just lost it in the sun in the end. Follows up with a tackle. Oh, and holding the ball, says the umpire. So Rui will be rewarded with the free kick here. Looking to kick her second goal of the match. And to extend this margin out to 24 points. Rui comes in. And it's a red-hot start for the Medleys. Rui kicks her second. And they get the first of the last. 24 points, that margin now. So Abigail Rui, one of the taller players on the ground, standing at 172 centimetres, from Victoria, playing with the Yarraville Seddon Eagles. 2 goals for her performance so far today, and perhaps 1 or 2 more. Again in the centre of the ground now, floating across Casma. Sticks that mark. Floats the pass to the half-forward line. The hand pass over the top now towards Gurgis. Streaming towards goal. Gurgis off a couple of steps. That is some sort of finish. And the Medleys kicked the first 2 goals of the final quarter in the first 2 minutes. Gurgis with her second. A nice healthy list of goal kickers starting to develop here for the Medleys. Headlined, of course, by Misha Simmons, who came to life in that third quarter. 3 goals to her name, but could have had 5 or 6 even. Tossed up in the middle once again. McClellan got hands to the footy. Robinson, the speedster, out wide to Casma. Casma just got the kick away. Inside 50, going up was Nelson. Held her ground. Able to stay standing and dish that footy off, but in the middle, Phoenix Dodd with the intercept mark. And now she's going short to Amy Smith. Pops the kick up to the danger zone. Inside 50, selling some candy. Hamona, who got it up towards Rui again. Just able to get the footy away. I think this is Simmons. Just offline. And a minor score, so 65 playing 34. 4 minutes gone. To the outer side now, socket off the ground. Getting that one forward, Matuva. Robinson was involved again. The shot on goal has been juggled across the line. Last line of defence was Cunningham. Or rather Myram, I think it was. And she'll take the kick-out responsibilities as well. Just over the head of her teammate. The kick just a bit too long. And Thomas, free kick against her. So it'll come back to the Woomeras at centre half back. The kick to the outer side. Lani Gray takes the mark. Drives this high and long towards the outer side. And the Woomeras, the hand pass goes forward. Standing in the way there was Jansen. And now Casma. Got her name today. To Bridge. Bridge plays on. And goes long with the kick. Nelson takes a bounce and is off. The pass to the half-forward line. Flung 360 was Bennell. And she was wrapped up holding the footy. The Medleys, their chance to attack now. Well, they were intercepted. Coming one way was Miller. And was able to get it up towards Fortington. Inside 50. Good hands at the back, though, from Rabbie to hold that mark. Directing players to spread to the outer side. Taking the mark. Taking possession was Dorr. To the middle. Simons inside the centre square. Rolling football. Snatched out of there by Pole. Just able to work it forward. And the mark taken here by Haymona. She'll kick from slightish angle. Players gather around that goal square. She's going to give it off. And Gurgis, the vacant player, she'll take her full allotment of time here and kick from directly in front. She'll have to strike from around about 35 to 40 metres. Gurgis comes in. Keeps it low. But most importantly, she keeps it straight. And she kicks her third of the afternoon. And it's raining goals for the Medleys in this final quarter. They are humming along quite nicely. Gurgis with 3. Joins Simmons with 3 as well. So Gurgis, Victorian girl from Yarrambat. Making the most of the opportunity today. Of course, this is a 3-day camp for all of these girls this weekend. It's not just about the games that they play. They've been participating in a range of activities throughout the weekend as this one goes forward. And Matuva able to take that mark. Now she's playing on. Runs around and the kick just off the side of her boot. Spills loose. Pole was driven into the ground with aggression from her opponent there in Sky Morgan. The umpire says, we'll toss things up as Dorr comes across. Knocks that one down. Going to ground there was Bridge. Again, a stoppage. Although the free kick has been paid here. So Bridge with the free kick comes in a bit too far out to score. She just sets it up to the top of the goal square. Kingy was down there. Finds a teammate. The hand pass over the top. Rui off a step. It's the post. So we've seen a few posters in this game. Now 3 or 4. Most of them in this second half as well. Shakura Miller with the mark, and the kick is good. Further up the line. Up the ground was Cunningham. Looking into the middle nicely for Fawcett. He kicked a couple of goals in that third quarter. Now the Woomeras go forward. Bennell, her kick is rolling. It keeps going and goes all the way. If you don't mind. A touch of class there. And a quality team goal from the Woomeras. And they get one back against the run of play. Almost 10 minutes gone now in this final quarter of footy. So 6-4-40 playing at 10-13-73. in the final quarter between the Woomeras and the Medleys. Of course, the final game at Blacktown International Sports Park to come up at 4:10 to feature more young talent from across the country for the Medleys and the Woomeras. Kicked out of there by Fawcett. Inside 50. And they've hit a nice little patch here, the Woomeras. Cunningham goes with the kick into the pocket, looking for Lee. Comes back out to Lee. Had it, lost it. Spills the way, though, of Matera. Kick on goal, Door. Sitting on the last line of defence. Takes the mark. We'll spread this wide now. Footy down near the boundary line. Pole. Heaps of time for Gurgis to look for options into the middle, although the kick wasn't all that precise. Lampton just ran past the footy. Coming forward there was Bridge. Going to ground was Robinson. Back out to Bridge again. She was wrapped up in the tackle. Almost could have been holding the ball. Robinson can't escape the danger. And might be pinged here. Umpire says no. No prior opportunity. So a restart. Knocked forward by Fawcett. And the umpire's going to restart play again here. Just inside the centre square. Limpton almost went to ground. Teammate Matera picking herself up off the bottom of that pack. Myram rather, out towards Bennell. But it is the Woomeras who work it forward nicely. So in the hands here of Jazz Lee, who takes off at full stretch inside 50. And then attacking it hard and nicely was Cunningham. Just missed her teammate on the hand pass. Johns is down there. Again, a spillage at ground level allows the defence of the Medleys to try and pick up this football and hold things up. Knocked forward by Bennell. And mark taken here by Gurgis. Spreads it wide. Pitches awkwardly for Boyson. It did well to win back the football. The smother was superb from Caitlin West. And as a result, it goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in at the 13-minute mark of the final quarter. So tossed in, 33 points. Smith just got the hand pass away. Bridge, long with the kick, down towards the half-forward line. Puratata Mary couldn't quite stick that mark, but it's going to be a free kick for her teammate in the end. And the Woomeras play the footy along this new side wing in the shade, but standing tall, Gurgis has been magnificent. Lovely pass into the centre for Casma. It looks even wider now. And the Medleys once again go inside 50. Plenty of leading targets down there. Picked up here by Simmons, spinning around. This would be some sort of goal. It pitches on its point and it's touched. She got the right bounce. Defender down there though, able to get a hand to it. Standing strong was Nelson. Good mark. A little bit of elevation as well. Runs this around. Spilling the mark there was Jakora Miller. Footy locked up though. Tossed up. Fordington gives it off. And the Woomeras work it forward. Standing in the hole and getting a hand to it was Van Duren. Casmer out wide. Intercepted, though, by Jazz Lee. But Jazz Lee gives it off by hand. She might get the footy back from Morgan. And they work their way up towards the Lee direction. Spinning around is Gemma Lee. She goes long into goal. Down there is Grace Roden. Bouncing football. Dora is down there. Oh, look out. Wrapped up strongly by Bennell. The tackle goes unrewarded, but down there was Fordington, who pounced and goaled. So another goal for the Woomeras takes them to 7-4-46. And the Medleys 10-14-74. And they peg one back. So back to 28 points now for the Medleys. Final 3.5 minutes of this game. And it's been a game that has had a bit of everything. Quality marking and goaling from across the board. Out wide. Hole. One down. Coming through there was Nelson. Ushered over and out by Layla Pole. Tossed in, right on the flank. And the Woomeras to the wing. Lands nicely for Cunningham. Almost messed things up there. Cunningham going back in again. Sips up nicely for her. A low darting pass to Bennell. She spins around. High footy inside 50. Doors at the back. Can she chase it down? Bouncing football. Down there was Grace Roden. Sits up for Casmer. Gets it on the boot. Intercepted there by Cunningham. Didn't travel the required distance. Gives it off. Miller was down there. Still going as Miller. On hands and knees. Miller still going with the tackle. Applying a tackle then was Puran Tetameri. But the goal has been kicked. And they peg another one back. Quite superbly done. And they finished off this game quite nicely. The Woomeras, a host of goal kickers, back to 22 points. 10-14-74, playing 8-4-52. A minute and a half remaining in this game of football. Of course, the third game to come on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app as well. Out of the centre, Bridge went to ground. Floating kick into the middle. Gray over the top. And now kicked forward by the Medleys, but no one home. And Matera for the Woomeras intercepts. Takes off with a bounce towards the wing. Awkward one to control there for Hull, but she did pretty well in the end to get it to Kangi, who's still going and burns off a couple. Just lost the footy as she went to take a second bounce, though. And the Woomeras attack once more. McClellan, chance for one final goal, perhaps. Direct pass to Miller, right in the middle, forward of halfway now. Miller goes long, inside 50. It spills out over the back. Dora's down there. Spillage. Loose footy now. Miller into goal. Off target, though. And that might be the final play The margin now 21 points, and the siren will sound. And there it is. And it is the Medleys victorious this afternoon by 21 points over the Woomeras, headlined by some class from Misha Simons and also Dina Gurgis as well, both kicking 3 goals. Abigail Rui with the 2 goals. Plenty of talent on display from both sides, the Medleys and the Woomeras, in the second of 3 games here at Blacktown International Sports Park. We'll take a break here on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app, and the third and final game will be coming up very shortly.